the stream. Okay, let me just bring it back to me again. Okay, please, if you're on. Hi, Connie. Let me know if you can hear me. That would be great. Okay. I'm just going to leave that camera there. I'm sorry it's in my face. Okay, so last week I wasn't here because I went away for a visit to my parents. And as I was about to say, it's hard to believe that it's a week since we left. Friday last week was a very eventful. Don't follow a GPS. We followed a GPS and had to backtrack ourselves by about at least, oh, good, thank you, Connie, by about 3/4 of an hour. So what should have taken us 3 hours to get to where we were going took us about 4.5, but it led to an eventful trip, that's for certain, because we took a detour to visit a friend. So lots of excitement and lots of fun, and visited my parents and had a lovely time, and glad I'm back. So we're back to doing a live today. Now I'm going to flip this camera over. I'm hoping there might be a few more people that will join us. Please, if you do, jump on, say hello, let me know where you're from. Love to see lots of people visiting. So I'm just going to pop this back onto my desk screen. And so you can see what we're going to be playing with today. We're going to play with the Storybook Gnomes. Now, this is in the mini catalogue, and I didn't know whether I was going to really like this. I love it. I haven't actually had a chance to stamp up the gnomes yet and to colour them, because I just think the paper is fantastic, and the fact that in this paper you have got images. Let me just bring over some of them that we're going to be using today. You've got these images here of the mushroom houses and the gnomes, which you can cut out directly with the dies. So if you weren't really comfortable with colouring things in, it's all done for you. Plus quite a range of other really nice papers. So I've just started playing with it this week because I got home from my parents' place on Monday, and this was waiting for me on the doorstep. So just to show you some of the papers that are in here, of course you've got your gnomes and your little houses, and then the back of those is this one here, which we're going to be using today. This one here, which you've got like a little scene of the gnomes and deers and moose, and little foxes, which is quite cute. There's a large sheet of that one. Said you've got the houses on the back of that one. Played a bit yesterday with this one, which was the trees and the mountains. Then on the back, it's nice and bright if you love your brightness. You've also got the reindeers and the foxes that you can fussy cut out. Oh, there's some little bunnies and some little birds as well. And then the trees of that one. What else do we have here? Oh, I hadn't even noticed this one, but you got like a little village, really, of little gnome houses and gnomes and little mushrooms. And that's quite a pretty print on the back there as well. And that looks like that is in the pool party, I think. What else do we have? This one here with the mushrooms all on one side, and then you got your snowflakes on the other, and that is it. So they are so much fun. Now I'm just going to pop these right out of the robe for now because we don't need them. And what I have done with, let me just grab this one here so I can show you. What I've done with these sheets here of the gnomes and of the little houses is I've cut them into strips. So I've cut them into strips just like this one, and then I can cut them into the little sections so I can die cut it. Makes it a lot easier to use. Now, of course, I haven't cut all the sheets, and I have cut, because the back of this one is this print here, which we're going to be using. So I did shed a little tear earlier because I had to lose some of my gnomes, but that's easy fixed. I'm just going to have to buy myself some more. So also with your gnomes, as I said before, you get your dies. So I always package my dies up inside my stamp set. As you can see, I haven't inked up my gnomes as yet. I'm going to have a play with that later on. But I've got coming up, now let me just quickly show you what I've got coming up. Let me see where it is. Won't be one moment. Back there. I have got coming up my Birthday Piggy online class. Now, this is an online class. It's open to anybody in the world. You don't need me to send any products or anything to you. You just need to order all the products you need for yourself. It's cost of $20. It's going to be a Zoom class. Now, I'm going to have to ask everyone to have patience with me because I've never actually done a Zoom before, so this is all new to me. It'll be starting off at 10:30 Australian time on the 23rd of September, and we're going to make some little easel cards using the Birthday Piggy stamp set and dies. So I've got all my blends at the moment sort of all packed away with all of that stuff, and that's my excuse for not actually having inked up my kindest gnomes. But if you are interested in attending this class, you just need to go to my blog, which is Butterflies and Bows, and you can find my blog post on that there, which has got a link for payment of that $20. And when you get make that payment, you'll be sent out a list of all the products that you need. Closing date for this is on the 16th of September. So if you want to do it, jump on soon so you can work out if you need to order any of the products that I've got listed on there. Of course, if you don't have the blends and you don't wish to buy them, you can use coloured pencils if you wish to. But I will be going through on how I use my blends. Okay, so let me just take this back to where we need to be today. There we go. So I haven't actually, as I said, coloured up my gnomes as yet because I've got all my blends put aside for this class, and I'm going to have to get in and do it really soon because I really love these and I'm going to make something fun. But the beauty of this paper is you can pre-cut everything that you need. What also comes in this suite is your ribbon. And again, I haven't used that as yet. It's quite a nice ribbon. It looks like it's a cotton herringbone tape with a nice fine little blue ribbon stitched on top. So it's probably not going to be the easiest one for tying bows because it is rather thickish. Let me just have a look how that goes. Oh, it's not too bad, but I don't think you're going to get a really small bow out of it. But be great for wrapping around your card, adding a feature with it somehow. It's not going to be a really tight bow. The knot there is quite thick, but still it does tie well, and you'd probably have to fiddle around with it a little bit to get the blue stripe on both sides. So that's the ribbon that comes with it, and it also comes with the Snowfall Accent puff paint. Now, I haven't given this a go. I haven't used puff paint since the 1980s. Showing my age a little bit there. Let me just bring my comments back up so I can see. But I thought we might just give this a little bit of a go. So I'm just going to do a dot and maybe a line. Let's get rid of that bubble. Spread that out. So you pop that onto there, and then we're going to grab our heat gun and heat this up, and let's see what happens. As I said, I haven't used this as yet. It does take a little while because I have put it on my piece of cardstock there fairly thick. Just turning that around a little bit just to get the heat on both sides. Probably would be good if I had my tweezers, but I don't for this. Oh, there we go. It's starting to puff now. So that little dot I did is now puffed up. So it does take a little while to start reacting. I hope you can see that. Let me just bring that up closer to the camera. Sorry for all the noise. And the thicker you put on, the thicker you'd put that on there, the thicker that would be. So yeah, it's puffed up quite well. We've got a little bit of, whoops, let me move it, see if you can see a little bit of thickness and height there. Okay, so that's the puff paint. Now we're not going to use that today. I just thought I'd just show that to you because I haven't worked out where I'm going to use that as yet. So let's pop that heat gun down there. So let's have a look at the card. Oh, the heat gun always warps my paper. Okay, so let's just have a look at what card we're going to do today. So what I've got, as I said before, is I've chosen this as my card base, and I've cut this already, and I've we'll put all the measurements and everything on my blog. So if you want to see the measurements, just head over to my blog, Butterflies and Bows, in the next couple of days, and all the measurements will be on there. I've got 2 pieces of basic white. Now one is for my card insert and one is for my front of my card, because I always like to matte my cards because I think a card looks really finished when it's been matted. I'm going to use the Balmy Blue as my card base. I've also cut the largest circle from the Stylish Shapes. So that's got the stitching on the outside edge, and I thought we might just do a little bit of sponge, or little not so much sponging, but using the blending brush just to put a bit of color on that. And then we need to choose our gnomes and our little house. So the house I thought we'd use is this blue one, because it's got the colors of the Balmy Blue in there. And then we're going to need 2 of these gnomes. Now I've got one more here, which is the one I thought we might use. And then I want another one just to go on the inside, and I think it might be this blue one here. So I'm just going to cut that off. So let's just remove those and pop them out of the road. Now we're going to need our dies so we can die cut these out. So let me just pop those all to one side, and we're going to need our dies. Now I've also already got the die out for that one, and the dies for these 2. Now I always put my dies back into the little cellophane bag that they come out of originally, and that is going to be that one, and this one I think is that die there. Beautiful. So we're going to cut those out. Now in the dies you also have got, and I'm going to have a play with this later on today, but you've also got dies here that will innate, well, that's another gnome. There's another gnome there. But there's a hat for a gnome. You have got a piece to cut out the gnome's, let me just move this across so you can see it, but the gnome's beard, and there's his hat. So you can build your own gnome. There's his legs, his feet. What are the other pieces we've got in here? You've got a couple of mushrooms. And they've got details going in opposite directions, so it's sort of like a mirror image of each other. You've got a couple of little stems there in different lengths. So that's really good if you want to mix them up a bit so you could have longer and shorter like that. You've got this lovely tufted grass. Then you've got these two little pieces here. Now, I haven't quite worked out exactly what they are for as yet. I would say one would be good for his nose, and the other one might be just a spare so you can cut two, because sometimes Stampin' Up give us enough to cut two or something. And then you've got this tiny little piece here. Don't know whether you can see that. Whoops, let me put it in my other hand. And it's just got a little circle. And what I worked out, and it's probably not hard to work this out, but that goes into there. So if you wanted to make that into a tag, there you are, you've got your piece to put a hole into his hat. So you can put a piece of baker's twine or something like that through there. So there's a lot actually in those dies. And I can't wait to get in and play with them. I just haven't had a chance as yet, just for the fact that come back from holidays and work has to start up straight away, which is my alterations business. So let me pop all those back in there because we don't need them. Now, you will find this video on YouTube in the next few days. So please go over and have a look if you want to rewatch this again, or share it with your friends. It would be great. So I'm going to bring in my little mini cut and emboss machine so we cut out these pieces here. So we need to cut out this little guy. Pop him onto there. That die fits around him quite firmly. Pop my plate down on top. I've got to remember to order myself some more of these plates. These are getting quite scratched up and disgusting looking, but anyway, they still work. Just remove that die. And how do we go with him? Perfect. So there's one of our little gnomes. Then we need to cut a second little gnome. Let's pop that through. Just give that a bit of a push. I love this mini cut and emboss machine. It is just so handy, being little. Just fits on my desk perfectly, and it's great for these little jobs where you don't need to have a big cut and emboss machine. Okay, there's our second gnome. And now we just have our little mushroom house. Of course, you can put a bit of post-it note or something like that on top of that if you want to hold that in place. Pop that down. And cut that. Okay, so that's all our die cutting there done. Just going to pop those dies up there out of the road. Rubbish there in my bin, and pop those away. So let's make our card. Now, this is a very, very simple card. It's not very hard at all, because all the work, our colouring and everything is done for us in these little guys here. So there's my card front, and I'm going to mat that. Now, when I put these measurements up on my blog for you, I will put up the measurements also for the Imperial. Oh, so sad. Gonna have to put some glue on the back of those and lose those gnomes. But easy to buy a new pack. Okay. Give that a good rub. I'm just going to turn that over and just give that a very, very firm rub just to make sure all that glue has spread out. Of course, you can use your seal if you wish. I just like my multi-purpose glue because I've got a little bit of time to move things around. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this gnome here on the front of my card, and this little gnome here is going to go onto my insert. So I'm just going to pop him straight down on there. Let's put a little bit of glue on the back of him. And he can just go right there like that. So we're going to grab our card base and I'm going to attach this on the inside. Now, of course, if you wanted to, you could put another sentiment in there. I like to leave it blank, so then it doesn't matter what I write in there. I've got enough room then to write a bit more of a note if I need to. This will be going out at Christmas time, so I'd like to leave a bit of room if it's for somebody who maybe I haven't spoken to for a while. So that's the inside of our card. And then I'm just going to adhere this onto the front of the card. So, Connie, what's the weather like in Ohio at the moment? We're just heading out of our winter here. We actually are in autumn. And so our weather should start warming up for us in the next month or so. But we'll probably get a few cool more days. It's nice. Oh, that's good. Okay, so we've got our stitch circle here, and what I thought I might do is add some of the balmy blue ink around the outer edges. So I've got my ink here. Let's move them out of the road, and I've got my blending brush. So I'm just going to load this up with a bit of ink on there, and I'm going to start from the outside off my cardstock and work onto my cardstock. So I'm just going to go around and put a little bit of that balmy blue color around those edges just to take off that starkness of the white a little bit. So just take a little bit of the ink off my brush and then start on the outside and bring the color in. I don't want to take the color all the way into the middle. All I'm doing is really just the outside edges. So I'm just left with like a whitish center and then the blue around those edges just to soften them a little bit. Now with my brushes, what I like to do is I actually will go and wash this later on and then let it dry. It doesn't take that long to dry, and I just have some paper towel, so I'll wash this off quite thoroughly. Usually I find the hot water releases the ink a little bit, and then with a paper towel I brush dry the bristles and then just sit it in a glass or a cup waiting for that to dry completely in the next day or so. It depends a lot on the weather. We've got rainy weather at the moment, so it'll probably take a little bit longer to dry. So that I'm going to position, I think, in the middle or maybe to one side a little bit. Now I do want to pop a sentiment onto here. So I've got some Night of Navy cardstock because I wanted something that was going to stand out a little bit. And the sentiment that I've chosen to use out of the stamp set says Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. So I just really felt that sort of said what I wanted to say. So I'm going to emboss this in white. So I've got my Versamark. And I'm going to stamp this towards one side a little bit because I want a bit of width in this, and my width of my label going across my card a little bit. So I've just stamped that there, but I've got it more across here on my right hand side. I'm just going to grab my embossing powder. If you haven't seen these trays in your mini catalogue, you should go and have a look at it. They are fantastic, and it comes with your tweezers and a brush and your embossing buddy, so really good, worthwhile getting. I need a little bit more powder on that end, so let's just see how we go. Yep, I'm happy with that. So I'm just going to pop that lid onto there for the moment, and I will put that powder away a little bit later on. So I'm just going to get my heat gun and heat this up again. So I'm sorry for the noise this is going to make. And we're just going to wait for this to change. It's going to go from a matte white to a shiny white, and that's when we know that this is melted. You can also heat it from the back just to stop your cardstock from warping a little bit. It just needs a little bit more. And that looks like it's all done now. Okay, so let me just check. Yes, that looks all done and it's nice and dry. So I'm just going to bring in my little mini trimmer here, and I'm going to trim this down. Fortunately, Stampin' Up don't still have these any longer. They were fantastic. And I'm just lining up my words to make sure they're nice and straight. I'm going to trim that off there, and then I'm going to turn this around. And I'm just going to line this up again and trim that off there like that as well. So on this end here, what I'm just going to do is flag this. Now I'm just going to cut this back a little bit. I'm going to cut in the center around about 1/4 inch up. So I'm sort of going halfway along the width of my tag, but I'm cutting up probably around about 1/4 inch to make a flag in the middle there. And then I'm just going to cut from corner into that center there, and then from corner back into the center there, and that just gives me that nice little flag there. Now I may need to trim some of this other end off, but I'll have a look at that in a moment. Hi Joan, thanks for joining us today. How are you? Okay, so here's our card. So we've got our paper, designer series paper, matted on a piece of basic white. And I've also popped a basic white piece with one of the die cuts from our designer series paper on there. So we've got our largest circle, stitch circle, from the Stylish Shapes dies. Sorry, I just had to check the name of that. And we've brushed with our blending brush some of the balmy blue colour around the outside edge. So we've got our other pieces here that we've already die cut, and we're going to now pop all of these on our cards. So what I thought we might do is let's just pop that one there, and we're going to work out where these pieces are going to go. So I want that to go there. I want this piece to go possibly across there like so. and I want her to be tucked. So yes, I do need to trim this down a little bit. So let me just trim about that much off. So that's going to go across there. And then I want that sentiment. I may have to trim my flagged end a little bit more too. So let's just have a look. Don't want to cover up. So that's going to go. Don't want her going too far across. It's going to go there, and that's going to go. She's going to sit about there. So what I think I might do, I'm going to pop a little bit of glue on there. And let's just pop that one there like that. And make sure I've got no glue coming across. Yeah, I think that's going to sit like that. Now there is also that came with this, and I didn't mention it before. Now where have I popped them? Me and my putting things away. Usually I'm in a big mess. Oops. There is some. Have I got them here? Yes. Forgot to mention that they also came with the bundle. So we can use some of those on our card as well. So let's just work out. So I want to pop that there. I want to pop that. Is going to go across there, but I'm going to sit that up, I think, on dimensionals. Our house, I'm going to pop. I've just put glue on the bottom half. I haven't put it up on the top half because I want to sit that underneath with the house coming off that circle a little bit. So let's just move that into position. I'm going to pop some dimensionals. Let's just use these up, the strip here. So pop that. In the back there. Don't throw any of these things away because it's really good to use them up. So that's going to sit on there. Now, I was thinking of sitting that circle up on dimensionals, but I don't think I will. Sometimes you can have too much height. Just sort of, oh no, I think I might still do that. Let's have a go for it. I just might have to add an extra dimensional on the back of that. Okay, let's go with first plan. Cut this up a bit so we can reuse it all. Putting quite a bit on here, but that's okay. Just using up all these pieces. I want this to be fairly secure. So let's peel off all those backs. So a house is going to sit round about there, I think. I hope it is now. And then that's going to sit just on there like that. So let's just see how we go. Now, where is that? I mean to put some dimensionals on the back of her hat, but I don't want to take it right to the top because I want it to sit on top of that. And I might pop another one just there. So I haven't taken it right up to the top and I haven't taken it right down to the bottom because they're going to be hanging off that white circle a little bit. So let's pop that right along there. Seeing how we're going here. The height, yeah, it just sits off a little bit. That's okay. Okay, so we've done all of that. We don't need any more glue, but let's grab these and let's pop a few of these. Now I'm just going to cut up. This is a little trick that was shown to me by another Stampin' Up demonstrator friend of mine. And you slit along the side there. That just gives you access to pull that in and out quite easily. And I probably actually should have cut it the other way, but that's okay. I'm going to slip that back. Oh, golly, all thumbs and fingers today. There we go. So I can slide that in and out that way. So grab my take a pick tool. Oh, lost that on the floor somewhere. And let's grab some of these. So we've got quite a few colours in this. We've got all of those colours bar that one. Oh, that's probably in a hands. But what we might do is we might add, oh, let's see. I'm going to have to take that out anyway. Don't think I want to go that colour. Don't want to go that colour. Might add a few of this one. Let's see what this one looks like. Pop one there. Might add that one. Might do 3 colours. Any ideas, ladies? That one there. I just don't want to put that colour next to that hat. But I could pop one up there because it doesn't have to go onto there. It could go right there. And I like to have them in 3s. So if I'm going to bring that one there, then I want to bring one probably down in here somewhere. And let's go another small one down there. Oh, we go there. Don't like that one there. See if I can get that up. Sometimes the placement of these, the little gems, are you like the blue ones, Joan? Yeah, we might just have a quick look, see what the blue ones are going to look like. Always put. Sometimes you can't relift them like that, but anyway, I was able to do that. You might be right, Joan. Blue ones may look better. If we go one there. I want to form like a triangle. No, I had two down there and I wasn't real happy about that. So I'm going to pop another one about there. And then another one. Well, there's that lid. Down about here. I'm going to pop another one, another little one there. One more big one, I think. Just need something to fill those areas. Nothing like a bit of bling. Okay. I think that just needed that little bit extra in there like that. And yes, I do like those blue ones. Thank you, Joan, for that. Pop that back into there. Okay, so there's our card today. As I said, just a very simple card because I think this designer series paper just really lends to making your cards nice and simple. So, and easy to do. But I can't wait to actually stamp up the stamps and have a bit of play with colouring them in. But anyway, I hope you have liked that card. I think that I'm actually very, very happy with that. And I'm loving this suite. And there's the inside of our card again. And I will post all the measurements and everything on my blog over the weekend. So thank you for joining me. Don't forget that if you want to attend my online class there, I will put a link also on my blog for it. So I will link you back to the other page on my blog so you can find it if you want to attend. As I said, it's $20 Australian. You can be a demonstrator and come along to this. You can be, not be a demonstrator and attend. It's open to everybody. It's open to every country because you supply all your own product. Just let me know if you want to attend. If you can't find the link, and I can send the link to you. I'd love to see you join. So I'd love more people to come along and have some fun. As I said, it'll be my first Zoom class, so that's going to be interesting. You just have to have a lot of patience with me. Oh, hi, Deb. Thank you. Yes, it is a cute card. And let me just remove this now so you can see my card again. Oh, just pop the comments back up there. Oh, thank you, Connie. Yeah, I think that they're very adorable, and I think it's such an easy suite. It's so nice when you've got a suite that is so easy to work with. There are lots and lots of times I look at something and I go, oh yeah, I'll get that, and then it is just so hard to work with them. Trying to work out what I can do with it. I tend to like to do a lot of colouring and everything, but lately I'm loving playing with the birthday piggies and what we have in our celebration recently, the hippos, and the characters, and the same with this gnome. I stayed away for them for so long, and now I'm having so much fun actually playing with some of these funny little characters. As your birthday piggies, your hippos, and these gnomes. And they are really cute, and they're so easy to use. So grab this set for yourself and have a play. Love to see what you make. Please tag me in so I can leave a comment. And I hope you can all join me again next Friday as we'll make another card. or something along those lines. I do have an idea in my head. I was playing around with it earlier, but just couldn't quite make it work. So I'll spend this week in trying to make it work, and we might make another card playing with these adorable gnomes. So take care. Have a lovely weekend, and we'll catch you all next Friday. Okay, bye for now.